Number 69 in the Masters of Cinema series is Dr. Mabuse the Gambler. This was a kind of formidable movie to look at. I know it's Fritz Lang's, one of his earlier works. It was came out in 1922 and it is 4.5 hours in length. Originally, when this came out, it was released as two separate movies, and Eureka do the best job they can by putting it over 2 discs, kind of encapsulating the full entire movie, and it is a sprawling epic of a movie. In the opening, I'd say first hour of the movie, we are driven with this propulsive, energetic, captivating score that really just feels like a modern day thriller kind of score, a precursor to that, and it's just fantastic. It drew me right into the movie straight away, and we are thrown into this master criminal, Dr. Mabuse, who is a psychiatrist, psychologist, who is a master of mind control and a master of disguises, and he has this elaborate plan set up at the start to kind of steal information and work the stock market so he can make a lot of money, and then the process of doing that destitutes a lot of people. But he doesn't care about that. He's just interested in not really even the money, just being able to do these things, to be able to play with people's lives, and that's where the whole gambling aspect of it comes in. He becomes these various guises as he starts to tackle people in card games, controlling their mind, making them lose their fortunes and becoming his puppets, his playthings. His real sort of crutch is taking people and manipulating them, having that power over people who have money, wealth, reputation, and twisting them into whatever he wants them to do. And he meets this character of Hull, who he plays at cards and loses a large, grandiose amount of money, and just can't believe what he's done. And then we're introduced, and this is late on in the first movie, about an hour or so into it, Wenk, who is a special prosecutor who has started to catch on to these people that are losing fortunes in card games and don't really have much of a memory or an inclination as to why they were gambling as heavy as they are. So we have this Wenk, which is the good guy. We've got Dr. Mabuse, who's the bad guy, and it's a clash of heads. It feels very much like a kind of Moriarty character, Mabuse, and I really kind of liked him at the start, but grew to detest him throughout the full movie because he really is a poisonous, manipulative, egocentric character who has this narcissistic personality, who treats people as playthings, and it just, you know, from a kind of fun, heisty beginning, it just kind of grew into this character that I ultimately really didn't like come the end of it. Wenk, on the other hand, was a character who was rather abrasive when he first came in. I didn't know whether to trust him. I wasn't sure if I really liked him. I felt that he wasn't on the same kind of intelligence as Mabuse and was always one step behind him, and you felt as if he just needed a bit of luck to kind of beat this guy, but on just mere sheer mental acumen was never going to get there. There is loads of other characters thrown into this that just enrich the entire film. I loved the kind of acquaintances that Mabuse has, his gang of people who are his puppets as well, as he manipulates and puts his pieces across this chessboard of a movie, trying to manipulate them into doing things. And what really kind of surprised me was the loss in this movie that we have, that people die surprisingly at the hands of Mabuse. He takes no qualms. He doesn't care about human life whatsoever, and if something seems like a threat to him, he is going to take them out. And that's what really kind of put me down the path of really disliking this character more and more, his disregard for anybody or other human beings. Wenk, on the other hand, really started to grow on me because of his tenacity, his constant trying to get to the truth. Even though he was always a step behind, I still kind of hoped that he was going to get there in the end. The movie is littered with fantastic in-camera special effects. that are just wonderful to see, especially when Mabuse is changing his form from one person to another, because like I said, he's the master of disguises. He is various personas throughout the movie, and the actor, whose name I won't butcher, is terrific as he really manipulates his performance into whatever character he is depicting, whether it be an old man who's struggling to see or deal with life, or a sort of younger man who is on top of things. He kind of chameleonic like shapes his persona and performance into those kind of roles. And although you can still see Mabuse in there, you can see the performance he's putting on top of that. It's quite layered, it's quite interesting and fun. There is other kind of special effects as well throughout this that are wonderful. There is one later on in the second half movie where there is a man who has lost his wife and is struggling to come to terms with the fact that she has gone, and he is isolated, he is drinking, he is starting to hallucinate, and he sees several visions of himself at a table that's just wonderfully produced and just a great, fantastic effect. There is so many things about Dr. Mabuse that I think it's just wonderful to discover. Like I said, I really loved the score. I loved the performances. The tale was really rather vast. It covers a lot of ground, and you get a lot of sort of sub-characters as well. At 4.5 hours, it is a big investment in time, but like I said, it's split into two parts. The first part is about 2 hours 35 and covers a lot of the characters, and the second half is basically building towards that conclusion, just under 2 hours in length. And I gave myself a kind of day's breathing space between these two halves just to kind of get my thoughts on the movie as a whole. I thought Dr. Mabuse was great. Started off at a rip-roaring pace, kind of eased into the story that it was going to tell. It kept me captivated. I was engaged by the characters. I was with a lot of the characters and against some of the other ones. When it gets to the large grandiose shootout at the end and the hunt for Mabuse as he becomes known and his nefarious ways are coming close to capture, it gets really tense and exciting, and this was a wonderful experience, one that I was captivated with. Couldn't take my eyes off the screen. I was just drawn in to this wonderful tale. It's a masterwork of a movie, and it's strange to think of something from that era, which is 4.5 hours long, that makes you hang on every word, that makes you really pay attention to what's happening on screen. I loved it. Love to know your thoughts on Dr. Mabuse, the Gambler. Let me know in the comment box below. I'll see you next time on Man v Film.